What's good, everyone? This is Jin. I know JP is currently going through the Tanabata campaign as well as Global going through their 6-year anniversary, but it's always good to plan ahead because the worldwide celebration, believe it or not, we're actually less than a month away from the countdown period actually starting. So given that, we're literally less than 30 days within, the span of the worldwide celebration starting, I figured it'd be a good occasion to kind of reflect back on last year and start planning ahead in terms of like what to expect. And, obviously the important question here, and, we'll dive right into it, is how many stones were given out both from a global but also JP version, because they do break it out, luckily, in the Dokkan Wiki website. So, with that being said, let's just cover, I know everybody's probably wondering the same question, and let's just get it out of the way. So, in terms of total Dragonstones given out during last year's worldwide celebration, you'll get the breakdown of the composition here. So during the campaign, you've got 131 stones, and during part 2 was 428 stones. And part 1 was 428 stones, and then part 2 was 341 stones. 900 stones total given out. Now on the JP side, you've got 100 stones from the countdown celebration, so slightly less. And then you've got, for part 1, 374 stones, and then for part 2, a total of 361 stones were given out. And we look at that, 835 overall for JP, whereas Global got a cool 900. So already, a JP shaft in that regard, but we'll see how things play out this year. One thing to keep in mind, though, and this might not necessarily impact Global as much as JP, but the JP version, they've definitely struggled with top grossing, recently because of all the additional competitions within the top grossing scenario. So, these are including the top grossing rewards, I'm pretty sure. So, let's just take a look. I feel like this was included, maybe not. If it isn't, then yeah, first rank 30, and then probably one in here too. So I don't know, JP was able to recently get it with the Gogeta Dokkan Fest. So I mean, it's more than manageable, especially considering how big this celebration actually is. It's one of the big ones compared to the course of the year. This is probably the second most exciting time besides the anniversary itself. So yeah, I mean, it is including the assumption of, the top grossing rewards, but I think it should be achievable in that regard. But anyways, yeah, that's the total stone count up to, the entire course of the celebration. Obviously, it's broken out into parts as well as the timing. So I guess my point with that is, it's good to start planning ahead, at least within the next 30 days, see how much stones you can save, and if you need to buy discounts right now, if you have some remaining and you're done summoning with the current banners or whatever, that might be a good idea too, and stuff like that. So just high overview, I want to keep it to like the 10-minute mark ideally, so I'll try and be as high level as possible here. But campaign wise, they did give out a bunch of stones for that, and you do get summon tickets as well. 21 celebration summon tickets. That's basically the Dokkan Fest ticket banner. Basically, that happens during this time, where a lot of it's based on the total amount of stones accrued over the course of a certain span and what have you, and you get tickets in return. Basically, the equivalent of your tax returns is essentially the way I look at it. Now you've got login bonuses, ticket campaigns. This is the actual Dokkan Fest banner. So I don't think I can actually click on this, but we'll go to part 1 where we should be able to. A couple of legendary campaigns, Infinite Dragon Ball History stages, Super Battle Road. I would expect some additional Extreme Super Battle Road stages coming out during the worldwide celebration, at least for JP, and then maybe a couple of them added onto the global side. But let's just keep going. The countdown is more or less just kind of the precursor anyway. So part 1, obviously we had, I'm just skipping all these other stuff, but, story events and stuff like that, but we also have the new banners here. The only bad thing about it, right, is the anniversary LRs aren't included because they feature back in the Tanabata one, but we should see some upgrades in terms of like the available units within the pool of featured, and should be good. I mean, obviously it's from a track record standpoint, they do hold a lot of value, so it's certainly a good banner to summon on. I don't think anybody in their right mind would actually skip these banners, to be honest with you. That's probably the best way to put it in terms of like the value it adds. So, you know, we do obviously have the Part 1 Dokkan Fest banners, and then the ticket themselves. I don't think I can actually click on this, because if I do, I'm pretty sure I only get an image. Okay, never mind. Okay, so like JP and Global, obviously because of timing differences, there are going to be distinctions between the two in terms of like the featured unit list, but you know, of course, like we have so many units included on here. But the good thing is LRs are also included as well, so that's the one good thing about it. But yeah, I mean, we should see, you know, more current units featured hopefully this time around, but you know, we'll have to wait and see in terms of like the overall schedule. But you know, this is obviously a plus, because it's you know, almost like your tax returns. It's not necessarily free, but it's somewhat regarded as free. You know what I mean? So it's a good positive to have, basically. And then you have all your other, you know, unnecessary information in terms of like the overall, you know, conversation or narrative that I'm trying to push. We'll probably see some sort of like special weekly event, you know, similar to Launch's treasure hunt and stuff like that. But again, a lot of this stuff, you know, we don't know at this point in time. But you know, the way to look at it is, you know, just kind of reviewing last year's schedule and just seeing how jam-packed of stuff there was. So you know, that's kind of the way to look at it. And you know, obviously we had the Part 2 LR banner as well. JP and Global both had it at the same time. I don't know if there was a difference in the banner itself. They probably were the same, maybe slightly different, but you know, obviously the LR pool will be updated based on, you know, the more current situation and what have you. So that's something to look forward to as well. But I think the most important thing is, you know, just once we get more clarification on like the theme around the celebration itself, then you can start planning out, you know, potentially farming, you know, the free-to-play versions of the units in terms of like the potential essays or whatever. I wouldn't necessarily take the initiative to go ahead and start doing that, since we literally don't know much about it. But I mean, in terms of like the overall like celebration itself, I thought it was pretty good. Now there's, you know, give or take, some negative feedback regarding the celebration in terms of like lack of content and stuff like that, which, you know, I agree with to a certain degree. But you know, the Dokkan Fest banner units were extremely exciting for me. So I guess personally, it kind of offset a lot of the negatives that came with it. But the other thing to keep in mind, and I guess we can close it out here, but there is going to be a special live stream. Now, I guess, you know, Global had their Dokkan Now special. JP had the actual live stream event where it was like an hour long. I don't know if it's listed here. I guess I don't know if it's broken. Okay. I thought it might have been broken, but I guess not. It might have been here somewhere, but they actually did have like a special live stream, if I'm not mistaken. And you know, it always generates hype when you're able to see stuff like that. And you know, they do give out like the 50 Dragon Stones based off of the live stream as well. I don't know if it's included on here, but I guess 60. I guess it's called Dokkan Now in the JP version as well. But that'll be a real special way. Hopefully, I don't know. This is my personal take on this, but like I really wish the live streams and announcement videos like Dokkan Now would be scheduled way ahead of time before the data download happens. As much as we appreciate like all the new information that comes out, you know, with data mining and whatnot through data download night, it just negates some of the excitement factor when you already know a lot of the information before going into the live stream. So hopefully, you know, they kind of do it like the 350 million download, I think, with the LR AGL Gohan and the LR Buhan unit. Not Buhan, but Cell. I think that was one where they executed it perfectly, where the live stream or announcement video came out several days before like the data download. So hopefully they kind of revert back to something like that. I would prefer it that way. It kind of creates additional hype, and seeing the super attack animations for the first time through a live stream is a very special feeling, for the lack of better word. So hopefully they do revert back to that. But I guess in closing segments, again, Global, they gave out, you know, 900 total stones during the campaign. and for JP it was 835. So a decent amount of stones are given out, and we're literally less than a month away. So hopefully, yeah, you guys start planning ahead, in terms of like, the stones you might need going into it and what have you. But just wanted to give you kind of an overview of stuff coming up literally within the next month. So with that being said, I'll go ahead and close out here. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys later.